Advert listing. 4-bedroom fenced bungalow in serene estate. Modern finishing. 24/7 power. Security patrol. 15 million naira, slightly negotiable. Title, clean. When Raymond saw the ad, he didn't blink. He just sneezed from excitement. 15 million naira, he muttered aloud, scrolling back up. In Lagos. With steady light. No be wetting God they do be this. His wife, Adogo, leaned over his shoulder with suspicious eyes. Send me the agent's number. I want to greet them with holy water. Raymond chuckled. You're too paranoid. She folded her arms. And you're not paranoid enough. But Kamsi, their 14-year-old daughter, who had been complaining about rats chewing her socks in their current flat, yelled from the background. If we don't move soon, I'll start sleeping on the street with the rats. They are better roommates than Daddy snoring. And just like that, they scheduled a visit. It was a beautiful house. Red roofing. Marbled floors. Polished banisters. Spacious compound with a mango tree and just the right amount of quiet to feel safe, but not dead. No cracks. No funny smell. No broken tiles. Even the tap water ran clean. No brownish nonsense. The agent was sweet, too sweet. People say the house has personality, he smiled. Adogo narrowed her eyes. What kind of personality? Oh. Warm. Friendly. Quiet, mostly. The following week, Rayam signed the house papers. The very day they moved in, strange things began. Not ghost-type strange. Just off. Like the security man from the next house who stopped sweeping when he saw them and whispered. You again. An old woman who threw salt at their gate, mumbled in Igbo, and walked off. And the child on a bicycle who slowed down, looked Adogo in the eye, and said, I hope you don't have daughters. Adogo laughed. Nervously. Then checked if the child had horns. Their first night, the house creaked. A lot. Like it was clearing its throat. Around 2:17 a.m., Raymond heard footsteps. Soft. Slow. Coming from the living room. He grabbed a torch, tiptoed out. Nothing. But Kamsi screamed from her room. They rushed in. She was standing by the window, pale and shaking. There was a man, she said. Right outside. By the mango tree. He waved at me. Raymond looked outside. Darkness. No one's there, he said. But he had no face, Kamsi whispered. The next morning, Kamsi refused to use her bathroom. He wrote on my mirror, she said. They checked. Written in the foggy glass were 3 words. She lied first. Raymond chuckled. Maybe it's your hot breath, creating patterns. Then how did my breath spell? Kamsi snapped and ran out of the room. By the 3rd night, the scratching began. From inside the walls. Then came the whispers. Soft and male. Not angry. Just disappointed. I loved them. Why didn't she ask? I didn't cheat. The words drifted in and out like a slow, leaking tap of sorrow. Raymond tried to ignore it. But then the blender turned on by itself. The fan spun backwards. And the fridge opened and closed on its own, like someone was browsing for snacks. Maybe it's just leftover spirits, Raymond joked. Adogo stared at him. Say that again and sleep outside. One night, while watching football, Raymond heard knocking. Knock. 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 From inside the wall. He pressed his ear to the panel. A whisper curled into his ear like smoke. She buried me with the lies. Raymond dropped the remote. Adogo, pack small bag. We are going to your mother's house. Later that night, Kamsi drew something. She hadn't touched a pencil in months, claiming art was for introverts and heartbreak. But now she was sketching like someone possessed. Adogo looked at the paper. It was a man, tall, hollow-eyed, half his face decayed. His chest was torn open, ribs like fingers, and beneath it she had written in red crayon, "Where is my grave?" Adogo grabbed her daughter. "Who told you to draw this?" Kamsi blinked. "He did." The man in the floor. Raymond didn't sleep. Not just because his daughter had drawn a bleeding ghost and claimed a man was in the floorboards. Not just because of the whisper in the wall. No. He didn't sleep. Because something inside the house wouldn't let him. The fan ticked all night. The radio turned on, full volume, to a station that no longer exists. And there was knocking again. Knock. 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 Pause. Knock. Knock. This time, it came from the ceiling. The next morning, Raymond lifted the edge of a musty carpet in the basement and found a sealed wooden hatch with a single, hand-carved word. Ike. Adogo, determined to stop feeling crazy, returned to the estate security post. There she found old Jekande again, the former gatekeeper and human archive of spooky gossip. "You didn't check the compound history before buying?" he asked, laughing without humor. "People they rush cheap house like suyo, then complain when the meat bites back." She begged. "Please. Tell me what happened here." So he did. Family 1 was a young couple and their kid. Mr. and Mrs. Okoye. Banker and businesswoman. They moved in with their 10-year-old daughter, Amara. Sweet, quiet girl. Loved pink sweaters and cartoons. 2 months in, she drowned in the bathtub. But here's the thing, there was no water in her lungs. The coroner said. Her lungs were filled with fine dust. Like soil. They buried her and moved out the next week. A neighbor said she saw the little girl, a week after her funeral, standing by the gate at night. Smiling. Family 2 was an aunt and niece. Miss Eliza. Single. Stern. School teacher. Took in her 17-year-old niece, Ngozi, after the girl's parents died. Eliza was strict. Ngozi was wild. Always blasting loud music, dyeing her hair, sneaking out. One night, Ngozi went missing. Just disappeared. Police combed the estate. Nothing. Until a necklace she always wore was found in the backyard garden, wrapped around the roots of the mango tree. Eliza was found 3 days later, catatonic. Repeating. She said he wouldn't rest. She said the ground was full. Family 3 was known as the angry siblings. 2 adult siblings, older man and his loud younger sister. They fought daily. Plates flying, doors slamming. One morning, she was found dead in her room. Cause? Unknown. She was bone dry. As if something drained every drop of moisture from her body. The brother swore he saw a man with no eyes standing over her bed before it happened. He left the same day. Madam, the house is haunted. Adogo returned home and sat down slowly. There's something under us, she said. Raymond opened his mouth to argue, and then the wall groaned. No, not creaked. Groaned. Like something inside the house was in pain. Later that night, Kamsi woke up with mud in her mouth. The hatch in the basement wasn't locked. Which was worse. Raymond opened it alone. Inside. A pair of men's slippers, caked in dried mud. A rusted ring. A notebook, half-bound, with entries like, "She's asking questions I can't answer. I'm not sleeping in that room anymore. If they loved me, they'd believe me." There was something else. Bones. A long, crooked ribcage buried beneath loose dirt. Raymond screamed and dropped the torch. Upstairs, Kamsi was sleepwalking again. But this time, she was smiling. And speaking Yoruba. Perfectly. They thought I had another woman. They didn't ask. They killed me. She struck first. My daughter finished it. Adogo slapped her gently awake. Kamsi blinked. Confused. Mom. Why do I taste mango leaves? The Obina family. That was the name of the first owners. The originals. The ghost behind the ghost. Raymond and Adogo tracked down a retired land agent who finally told the truth. I sold that house in '98. Nice man bought it. Name was Ikobina. Young wife. One teenage daughter. At first, they were the model family. Then rumors started. He would come home late. Take secret calls. Laugh too much at text. One night, there was a loud fight. Neighbors heard glass shatter. Then silence. The next day, wife said he left them. Ran off with a younger girl, she claimed. The shame was too much. They sold the house a week later. But I didn't run. He was killed. Right there. In the kitchen. With a pestle. Then dragged into the yard and buried under the mango tree. The daughter helped. She was just 16. They didn't even tell the priest, the land agents muttered. They buried him like a dog. That night, Kamsi drew again. This time, it wasn't Ike. It was two women. Blood on their clothes. Tears in their eyes. And the caption underneath said, "She lied. She made me kill my father." The house began to rot. Paint peeled. Light bulbs exploded. Mirrors cracked. Kamsi's eyes sometimes turned completely white at night. She screamed in church. And once, at dinner, she stared at her mother and said, "You'd kill too, if you were hurt enough." Raymond refused to eat for 2 days. Adogo wept in the bathroom and prayed in tongues she didn't know. The mango tree grew bigger, overnight. It cast shadows that moved even without wind. One night, Raymond dug at the base with his bare hands. And found a jawbone. Ike's spirit had one demand. Tell them what they did to me. Until the truth lives above ground. I will drag their daughters into mine. They called both a pastor and a native priest. At this point, they were equal opportunity exorcists. They dug up Ikobina's full skeleton. Adogo knelt in the dirt and confessed aloud. Not because she was guilty, but because someone needed to finally say it. You were murdered. You were innocent. They lied. They wrapped the bones in white cloth. Placed them in a new casket. Held a funeral. Posted the story online. Let the world know what had been buried. Kamsi was freed. No more drawings. No more whispers. She slept for 19 hours straight. Raymond smiled for the first time in weeks. Adogo looked at the now empty garden and felt peace. A week later, a little boy from the estate knocked at their gate, and when Adogo opened, he was laughing, pointing behind her. "Auntie, that man is standing there again." Adogo turned. No one was there. But the air smelled like wet earth and mango leaves. The end. Or as I could say, not yet. Subscribe for more.